Hi everyone, this is Ocean Spirit Tarot. Today we're going to do a collective read, see what we get. At the moment I feel a lot of timeline shifting. You might have seen my video that I was put out not long ago, just a bit of a ocean read, because the environment around us, you can always get a good read of what's going on in the energy by just taking notice of the ocean or the environment around us. So I thought I might pull some cards now and see what we get. Because I get a lot of, when I was meditating on the energy of a lot of darkness and the world like cracking open, timelines cracking, dropping, new cycles starting to come in. But through the cracking of, because what I really seen was the earth and it's sort of like cracking and seeing the light come through. And I feel like that's a lot of people, spiritual awakenings, people starting to rise, starting to feel the shift and starting to look more towards spirituality, more towards faith, because a lot of things that have been going on in the past few years, a lot of the chaos has sort of made people a little bit uneasy. But we've got a big generational cycle that is is ending. I got 10 coins. That was at the bottom when I picked up this deck. That's that change that's coming through. At the moment, I feel like a lot of people probably feel uneasy, not knowing what's sort of going on, can feel that shift, can feel something, but can't really put your finger on it, can't really understand what it is. Seeing a lot of chaos, a lot of different things going on around us. But when things settle down, I feel like it's going to be, especially for people that have put a lot of work in, people that have really made change, people that have closed out them karmic cycles, you're going to see that you're probably seeing trickles of it already. That change is the cycle, the wheel has changed for you and things are starting to move more in your favor. It's not that uphill struggle that you used to always feel. And I feel like the more the timelines settle and this new cycle settles in, the more that you will see it, the more you will feel it. But we've got a little cycle too, like a personal cycle that goes for 7 to 10 years that as well as closing out. And they're both the big cycle, which is a generational cycle, which goes back to your grandparents and even their parents. That cycle is closing out. And I think it closes out pretty much. It's starting to close out now. We're coming towards the end of it. I think it's 2030 where it fully closes out. There's never really a date within the energy, but you can already start to see it sort of changing. And you're starting to see like the tradwife trends that are starting to come through, and that's people trying to hold on to something more stable, more stability within their life, more comfort, and that goes back to the 1950s. So if you want to sort of see what we've got from 2030 coming into, you're going to see that, like if you look back at the 1950s. So but a good thing, like if you have done a lot of work and breaking the generational cycles and the things that we've been handed down to us through past, through our parents and their fears and their avoidance in things as well. So it's a good thing to look back at. Got 2 of Cups. And that's where I, as well, like, in the past generational cycles, that has been, that was that World War II's time. And you've seen it a lot in this time with a lot of lockdowns and financial trouble that, like, a lot of people were having, and People not being able to have a home because they can't afford it. And it's a lot of fear within society and a lot of holding back of love. And that was a lot within the soulmate cycle as well, was holding back of love and not showing that emotion. And this new cycle, I feel, is going to bring through like a lot more openness and a lot more of sharing of feelings. Don't get me wrong, you're going to see both sides of it. Not everyone's going to be on the same timeline. Not everyone's going to, rise to that new timeline. People that haven't closed out their karmic cycles are just going to repeat them again. And they're going to keep repeating them until they decide to close out them cycles. And that goes for generational ones too. Not expanding, not experiencing things in life is going to keep you stuck. Whether it's good or bad, every experience that you experience in life all makes you grow. And they're there for you to learn. And if you keep yourself hidden away and you don't learn and you don't take them risks and you don't venture out past the structures of maybe your family unit and how you do things, then you're just going to keep repeating them same generational cycles. Queen of Wands. That's that passion and that adventure and taking life on and experiencing the things that you want to experience, being passionate about the things that you want to be passionate about. Nice. We've got the Empress. That's that beauty, that nurturing, that full balance within both energies, masculine and the feminine. But as well, like you just see the sun behind her just lighten up. That's as well doing the things that you want to do, the experiences that you want to take on, not listening so much to maybe how family expect you to be, not expecting to do what friends want you to do, and having your own mind, having your own ambitions and the things that you want to go for in life. And that's the Empress. She's not nasty in what she wants to, like in what she has to say. She's not nasty in what she does. But as well, she doesn't let people take advantage of her. She doesn't let people take that generosity and that nurturing beauty that she has for granted. She's got boundaries. Got the King of Swords and the Star. That's beautiful. The Star's all about healing and healing them generational patterns, healing patterns within your own life. And when we talk about the shorter cycle that's ending, and even within the soulmate cycle was a lot of that chaser and runner. And I think a lot of the collective had to learn self-respect and learn not to give love where it's not being given back, and to have them boundaries and stick to them. And it doesn't matter how much you love somebody, you still keep them boundaries. You can still love someone from afar, but it's still having them boundaries. And I think that there's been a massive healing within the collective, a healing within yourself. And maybe one of your personal lessons to learn was self-respect and to put yourself at a higher guard. It doesn't matter whether it's love, whether it's in family or whether it's in friendships, but not let people take you for granted. You can be, you can keep on giving and giving to someone, but if you're not receiving it back, then that's a boundary that you need to learn and need to learn to put up. But as well, it's speaking that truth and taking that on board. You stepping into your own voice, into your own throat chakra, and speaking how you feel, and following the guidance of your own intuition. I feel like in the past 7 to 10 years in your own personal cycle that's closing out, that a lot of people have gone through a lot of hurt and a lot of trauma and have learned a lot of hard lessons. And with doing that, the more that you keep that strength about you and you keep moving forward and you keep using them boundaries and putting them boundaries in place, the more you break the cycles, the more you see change. And it is always hard to start off with. I know for myself, I had a lot of, I was a person that gave and gave until you pushed me too far and then I exploded. But I've learned now that the moment I give to somebody, and I might do it again and keep, being nice and give, but the moment that I don't receive that back and it's more of someone just taking, I shut myself off. Like, I'll talk to you, that's fine, but don't expect the same energy to be given if you can't give that back. And that's been a big lesson for me. And I think that's for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that are like it. And there's been a big healing. I think that's been a really big lesson for a lot of people within the collective that have had to learn, especially when you really love somebody too. Like, you expect, and sometimes two people can love each other, but they have a totally different love language, and they might not ever be able to give the same love as what you can give to them. And that's something that maybe you might have to learn to accept, or you walk away and you can love them from afar and you bring in that love that you deserve and that you're willing of. Old timelines been a lot of working hard, but having a lot of anxiety, a lot of hard times within financial situations, with a lot of anxiety of trying to move forward, trying to get somewhere, and always feeling like you're trying to push uphill and not feeling as though you're getting anywhere. And I really feel like that's that old cycle that's closing out, that anxiety and the hurt and anxiety, because you can really work and work hard and, put in so much time and effort into something and not see the rewards from it, especially with how hard times are at the moment financially. It can really take a toll, and it can take a toll on you mentally as well. And I feel like that's starting to close out. Things are starting to change. That old cycle is ending. The Hermit and the Eight of Wands. Hermit's all about going within and really looking at where you've been and what you're willing to accept in your life now and where you want to go. But as well, that's that spiritual awakening too, starting to see like that everything is connected. All of us are connected within the energy, and we're all connected to the earth and to the animals and the environment around us. And when you take a step back of the chaos of life and everything around us, and you really take in that beauty and listen, it's really a beautiful thing. And I feel like that's where the Eight of Wands, don't get me wrong, it can be a lot of communication coming in as well. We are in Mercury retrograde, and a lot of people from the past start to come on, flowing back through. But as well, I feel like that's a lot of different opportunities coming through, but not just opportunities. I feel like it's a lot of realizations of where you need to go, what you need to do, things that you need to close out, new pathways opening up. Because this new cycle, of a personal cycle. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be people that are going to keep repeating the same cycles. But if you've closed out a lot of cycles, you have a lot of new things that are coming through. A lot more, there's going to be a lot more stability, a lot more love. People aren't going to take you for granted as much as what they used to. People will see the change within you, but there's going to be a new love. It's either a love for a new passion for something that you have. There's going to be a new spark for something. It's either, something that, whether it be within a workforce or just within yourself, something that really sparks your interest and something that maybe you haven't had for a long time. Because when we can go through a lot of hard times as well and always working, we kind of forget about ourselves and we forget about the things that we enjoy in life. And I think that's where you're going to find there's going to be something that's going to spark. It's going to give you that spark for life again. Ooh, as I said, the Ace of Wands, spark for life, and it's going to come in fast too, with the Chariot. But I do pick up on a soulmate. There's someone new. I've been picking it up on for a while. There's two around. You either have a new soulmate that's coming through, and especially in this new timeline, that's going to be able to give you the proper love and respect that you deserve. And someone that you've been waiting for a long time, like that kind of love. But I do, because I picked this up the other night, there is an old soulmate that has had a massive realization of the connection that you both had. They expected to be able to walk away. Yeah, they expected to be able to walk away, and they assumed you were like everyone else. The connection was the same as everyone else. They sort of feel as though it was just a passionate sort of connection. There wasn't much to it. They did know that you were different. You weren't like anybody else they'd ever experienced or had in their life. But they sort of just thought that it was more of a passionate sort of connection. They didn't really realize how deep it was. But they've tried to get over you for a long time. Years, maybe. And they have come back a few times. And if they haven't come back in contact with you, they have been watching. Because they can't seem to get you out of their minds. It doesn't matter what they do, whether they work, whether they keep themselves busy with other people, whether it's friends. They've tried to get over you and they haven't been able to. They always seem to circle back around. But something's going on where they've clicked on. I don't know whether someone said something to them, whether they've been Googling because they can't seem to shake you, whether they've Googled soulmates. They've been trying to do their own bit of research on soulmates and twin flames. But I really pick up on that they've had a massive realization to what your connection was. And it's funny because when I picked this up, I've been picking up the two different soulmates for ages now, months. But when I got this, I got that they'd been trying to Google they sort of done a little bit of research. It wasn't much, but they done enough where they realised they kind of all clicked into them that yous were actually soulmates. That's why they can't shake you. That's why there was something different within the connection. That's how come they kept circling back all the time. They've realised that yous are soulmates, twin flames, and it's something that they never really believed in. But whatever they've researched, it's clicked into place for them, and they've got this. I just picked up on it yesterday. It's like a real admiration, a very protectiveness of. Yeah, because it's like before, they never really cared what people said about you. They never really. You're just the same as anyone else. They knew there was something different, but they couldn't put their finger on it. So they didn't really care what people said. They acted unbothered. Where now they've kind of realised that you are their person, and they've gone into a really crazy protective mode, like with this admiration and this love and so I don't know, that's for some of yous, because I was picking that up on yesterday and I could really feel that happy admiration feeling. But at the same time, it's whether they can Google all they want, they can work it out, but it's whether they've put that work in to be on the same level and be able to give that same love and respect that you do. And if it's something that you really still want, you got the King of Coins. That's that stability, that change, money flow, that where things have been blocked and now starting to stabilize, starting to come through. That's that new timeline too, starting to stabilize, starting to show, starting to see it. And something that I want to keep saying when it comes to the personal cycles, but I can't. It keeps circling, but I can't put it into words. It might be for another message, because I can't get it into words at the moment. It's to do with fashion. The only way I keep getting it as fashion. You have a personal cycle, and a lot of people might not understand these. Like you've got all, the cosmic, and you've got where the planets move and all different things as well. But as well, we have our own personal cycles. And a lot of people, just same as we have a generational cycle, and your generational cycle that's closing out is, your 80, 90-year cycle, and it's things that get passed down to us through generations. And they close out every 80, 90 years. And it just so happens that all of us are here to experience this massive cycle ending, which causes a lot of change. It causes a lot of instability, and a lot of things shift. And that's just not within family generations, that is within the environment and within everything around us. But you have your own personal cycle, and I don't know, it's just hard what they're trying to say to me. All I keep picking up on is the way that people can look at it and can see is everyone knows in a relationship you have a 7-year hump, 7-year hiccup. If you don't know, if you look back, probably you'll see every 7 years, chaos happens within your relationship, things change. A lot of people tend to break up in around a 7 years. But as well, if you look back at your cycles as well, and you'll probably see, 7 to 10 years ago, what went on before. Like, you've just experienced this past 7 to 10 years. You look back at the 7 to 10 years before that, and how things work, and you kind of can track your cycles like that. And I can't put it into words. They just keep giving me the easiest way to kind of try to explain it, because they keep giving me fashion, is fashion and color. Because I used to be a hairdresser, and in hairdressing, you'd always see how cycles come through. You see hairstyles change over time. You have your shorter cycles, which is like our seasonal cycles. Summer, everyone wants to go blonde, everyone wants to go light for summer. If when we go into winter, everyone wants to go more of a deeper, warmer color because we're going into cold. And that's your shorter cycles. And that's the easiest way I can kind of explain it. But then we have as well bigger cycles, and that 7 to 10 year cycles. We all go through, and we all go through changes, and a lot of that comes from how much we grow and what karmic cycles that we break too, to how much we grow and how many experiences that we've learned. And that's why I always say, experience as much as you can in life. And the more you push yourself out of your comfort zone, the more you experience and the more you grow as a person. And the only way that I can kind of put into for your bigger cycles is, like I was saying about, we're going into that time of the 1950s. You can look back at fashion and how fashion changes over time. And every so often, it's about I say about 7 years, maybe, let's just say 6 to 10 years, you see the fashion change. We go back to the 90s fashion. We go back to like 60s, sort of, that real flowy sort of material and more lighter. And in the 90s, we go into more, you see in the jeans and the flares and the different things. So fashion always changes, but as well, we put our own tweak on it because we've go through time, we change, but as well, it still has that similar style to what it did back then. And I think I don't know, this is really hard for me to try to explain, but that's the easiest way that I can kind of, at the moment, try and put into words your own personal cycle. But definitely go back and have a look over time and see, like, map out your own pattern and see how things have changed and how many similarities that you will have in that time. I've done it. It's fun. It's very interesting. But I think I'm going to leave that there for today. Actually, I've got this new deck, and it gives you positive affirmations. I'm not big on affirmations. You've really got to, you can't just say it, you've got to really feel it and believe it for it to work. But I like this deck. It's a cute little deck. So let's get some and see. I wanted to end this reading off today with a couple. Tower at the bottom. That's no change. And if you see me earlier post, it was reading the ocean, and the ocean had a massive sandbank out there today. And like I say, sandbanks are beautiful, and I love sandbanks. You know, they come up out of the ocean and the water is really light across them. You can see fish that scatter across the water. You can see everything. You can see how crystal clear the water is over the top of sandbanks, but they're dangerous as well. They collapse just like a tower. And if you're not careful, they can grab hold of your feet and take you under. And I think that's a lot in the energy at the moment, because a lot of feelings are coming up, and that's where, are you going to let it take you back down into that same cycle and swallow you up within the emotions, or are you going to look at it, let the emotion out, and then move forward? Don't sit in it. But the little affirmation is, I have the strength to handle anything the universe throws at me. I love that. That's beautiful. And then we've got the Queen of Cups. Beautiful love. Filling our cup. And we have, I trust my inner voice and treat myself with compassion. I love that. Them two go really well together. Because as much as them emotions can come up, things can fall away, things can feel shaky at the moment while we stabilize in this new timeline. It's a matter of having compassion for yourself, having that love and having that respect for yourself as well. Because we give it to other people, but we deserve it the most, don't we? And I think a lot of us have done a lot of change, have changed a lot, and for the positive. And sometimes them old emotions can come back up and they can kind of shake the ground from underneath us, and we can sort of feel like, are we going backwards? But definitely not, because that's where I've come from, is 5 of Cups. Things are moving forward. I am ready to deal with my losses and regrets and move on with my life. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Clearing out that old past, that old timeline. We're not sitting in this anymore. We're going to recognize it. We're going to see it for what it is. Take the lessons that we've learned and then move forward. Then we've got the 6 of Cups. Memories from the past. I respect the past, but embrace the present moment. That's beautiful. Exactly what I was just saying. Then we got the 7 of Cups. I'm ready to make positive action and receive what I want in my life. Nice. We locked that one down. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. 9 of Cups at the bottom. Oh, and the strength. I was just talking about the strength before. Strength is everything I need is within me. And that is 100% true. You've got everything you need inside you, and your soul knows exactly where you need to go. You just need to listen to your intuition and listen to your inner voice. And the 9 of Cups, I'm grateful for the abundance that surrounds me. I love that. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there for you guys. I would like just to say, thank you to all my new subscribers. Very much appreciated. And sorry I haven't been on here for a few weeks. I was really sick with tonsillitis and I couldn't really talk. So hopefully I'll start popping out some more videos now that I'm feeling a lot better. But anyways, bye.